Well, hey, it's time for another episode of How is Tony Abbott Fucking Up This Week? Well, actually, it's totally fucked up Friday. But yeah, for reals, Abbott's been spending the week fucking up again. G'day viewers, welcome once more to Totally Fucked Up Friday. And I wasn't joking, our wonderful, venerable Prime Minister, Tony Abbott, has been doing another week of fuck-ups. I've actually got to narrow it down to just the most egregious fuck-ups he did this week. See, he proclaimed himself in the lead-up to the election, post-election, he's the most involved with Indigenous Australia of any Prime Minister. And, you know, to be fair, you cut him a bit of slack, take him at his word. Maybe he was sincere in that. He's got some very close Indigenous advisors. Just saying some people think they're sellouts and don't agree with them. But that's the thing. Indigenous Australians, like white Australians, Asian Australians, any other demographic, are not an amorphous blob. It's a bunch of individuals, and you will get people with different points of view. Except this week, they've all got the same point of view when Abbott supported the West Australian Premier, who's cutting off some remote Indigenous communities, saying, oh, we can't afford to subsidise them. It costs a lot of money for them to exist, so we're literally going to shut down where these people live, and they can, fuck knows, do whatever. You know, and the fact that this is an actual failed policy as far back as the 70s, it was recognised, government inquiries went, yeah, this whole thing of trying to take the Indigenous Australians out of their communities and force assimilate them doesn't work. Bad, counterproductive. Let's not do that anymore. But the West Australian Premier's dragged it out, dusted it off, saying we're going to do it. And Abbott's gone, I reckon he's bang up for it. We can't afford to subsidise people's lifestyle choices. Yes, this is a really complicated topic, and I can't do it justice in a couple of minutes, but to reduce the relationship Indigenous Australians have with the land, their place, to call that a lifestyle choice is just fuckwittery of the highest order. And even Abbott's closest advisors on Indigenous matters have just gone, oh, the fuck. What? How could you be that wrong? How could you be that fuck? Because he's Tony fucking Abbott. On a slightly lighter note, he managed to show he was a colossal fuckwit on St. Patrick's Day as well, where he posted some bizarre video, a St. Patrick's Day message that had virtually everyone going, the fuck is that going on? Now, I'm not suggesting Tony Abbott's on really dangerous drugs, but that would be a slightly comforting answer as to why he behaves the way he does. And even when I looked at this video, I'll have a link to it down here so you can check it out yourself, it was like, if something physically looked wrong. Like, has someone used some editing trickery to just paste his head on something else? Because something doesn't look right there. Oh wait, it's Abbott. So of course, nothing looks right. And I don't want to just pick on Tony Abbott. I think I'll pick on his treasurer too, Joe Hockey. He's all upset because some newspapers here ran a story about a fundraising body that raises money for the Liberal Party that prominently features Joe Hockey in all their things, saying, hey, and the website, they're called the North Sydney Foundation, and they have all these things saying, hey, look, pay this membership, you get to have special meetings with Joe. We'll have very closed sort of around the table. Oh, it'll be awesome. You'll get to talk to Joe, nudge wink. And the headline for these stories was Treasurer for Sale. And I think they went with that because the website said, if you pay this money, you get access to the treasurer. And Hockey said he is in fact suing them for defamation. The court case is going on now. But even last year when he brought it up, my first thought was, you're not very bright. What you were going to do is drag all of this out into the open, and I'm pretty sure that the Fairfax defamation lawyers went over this with a fine-tooth comb. And I'm pretty sure they know defamation law better than you. You might be, I'm upset. And he's been saying the most ridiculous things. I've been shattered. Words are bullets. This is the guy who represents the party of free speech, said, you were mean to me, so I'm going to sue you in court. See, the thing is, with defamation, you can't sue someone for being mean. It only works if they lied. If they said something that wasn't true or was maliciously designed to hurt you. And so that's the angle Hockey's lawyers have been taking, that Fairfax were malicious. Fairfax were a bit annoyed at Hockey. They had to apologise to him when they badly worded one article that said that he had received money from a group called, what were they called? The Australian Water Holdings, who then got mentioned in an independent Independent Commission Against Corruption. So it's like, corrupt, awful, don't want to be associated with them, give the money back. And it wasn't actually Hockey who gave the money back, it was the North Sydney Foundation. And so the Fairfax were forced to apologise and said, okay, the money didn't go to Hockey, went to the North Sydney Foundation, and they gave it back. It wasn't Hockey. But then they just dived more into North Sydney Foundation and said, yeah, this looks shit. It's not, they actually categorically said it's not criminal, it's not corrupt. They use those words. No one's saying Joe Hockey's corrupt. They're just saying these guys are getting this access by paying for it. Hockey's gone, and seriously, he has been saying he goes to thousands of meetups a year. He seems to be claiming he goes to between 5 and 10 things a day. And I'm really not sure how he'd manage that. But the idea that when he meets someone in a shopping mall, or he goes to the Country Women's Association, and they have the same level of influence as these heads of businesses who are donating tens of thousands of dollars to the Liberal Party, I'm just saying, I don't think that sort of holds up how most people would see it. And that was the angle of this story. So his lawyers are saying it's malicious. Fairfax lawyers are saying it wasn't malicious, it was true. And you've got these hilarious things coming out. Like that bit I talked about, the Australian Water Holdings thing, which they had to apologise for. But an email was brought up in the court case where Hockey's chief of staff told the North Sydney Foundation, Joe's instructed me to tell you to give that money back. And when Hockey has this put in front of him, he goes, he's my chief of staff, and he says I said to do it, but that doesn't mean I said to do it. And ridiculous shit like this, like all over the website is, give money to help Joe, this money is for Joe. And he's going, that's not right. Dude, did you fucking look at this website? The centerpiece of the fucking court case? Because, I think you're not really aware of when you look like an utter cockhead, but when stuff like this comes out, you look like an utter cockhead. So, yeah, look, I'm not that much of a gambling man, but I would suggest this is going to blow up in Hockey's face something awful. Australia's defamation laws are actually really quite unfairly biased towards rich people being able to protect themselves. The truth, what's that? But I really, really don't think this is going to work well for Hockey. This really just reminds me of Oscar Wilde suing the Marchioness of Queensberry for calling him a sodomite, which really just brought out in court, Wilde was a sodomite, when he said, when someone said, have you kissed this boy? He goes, I wouldn't kiss him. He's very ugly. Ha ha. Oh, wait. That suggests I kiss pretty boys. And so Hockey's going, I'm not for sale. I'm just wondering what his ugly boy moment is going to be, because I seriously suspect that might come out. But hey, politics. That's kind of boring, isn't it? I talk about politics a lot. Let's talk about killing babies. What the fuck are you talking about, Angry? Well, let me bring this out. Now, fad diets, they're kind of stupid. And yes, feel free to say, fat bastard, you should go on any diet, okay? Okay, I don't know why I'm doing that, because you're right, okay? I accept that. Moving on. Fad diets, I don't really give a shit about. I don't normally hack on them, because let people do what they want. Maybe something works for some people. Obviously, some of these things work for some people. Nothing works for everyone. And there's the paleo diet, which I think is amusingly stupid. They are making shit up because no one actually knows what Paleolithic ancestors of ours ate. You could guess, and then you could sort of ruminate on, would they live to 20, 25? That's the health model we're chasing? Someone who died that young? All right, but look, eat healthier, eat unprocessed food, that's great. Right up until the point some fuckwit comes up with an idea that is at extreme high risk of killing babies. Namely, one celebrity chef, Pete Evans, had a book, was due to come out as for the paleo diet for kids, for babies. It's actually called Bubba Yum Yum. And I'll just reserve judgment on what a dumb fucking name that is for a book. But anyway, it got held up because health authorities reviewed it, and the head of the Public Health Association of Australia, one Professor Heather Yateman, actually said, if this book goes out, I fear the inevitable result is babies dying. Because he's gone and said, oh, newborn babies, less than 6 months old, breast milk, just because everyone says breast milk is the best option. Formula? No, make this in your own home. What he calls a bone broth. He's going, this will keep babies healthy. Against the advice of fucking everyone, okay? He's saying, don't breastfeed, don't use commercial formula, make this bone broth. And, okay, just that saying go against the advice of everyone in the world sounds dodgy as fuck. But an analysis of this thing, which is bone broth, had liver and all this other stuff in it, is like 10 times the recommended dose of vitamin A for babies. You go, well, lots of vitamin A. No, that actually leads to vitamin A poisoning. Not everyone realizes vitamins in sufficient dosage poison you to the point you can die. And if you're a baby under 6 months old, you're particularly susceptible. So it's got 10 times the recommended dose of vitamin A, which can have incredibly serious effects on babies, and it's completely lacking in a bunch of other nutrients they require. And it's like, oh my god, it's like, okay, fad diets, fucking whatever. But this guy has literally put something out there that the head of the Public Health Association said will end up killing babies.